Okay, here we go. So, my name's Julia, Julia Edwards. I'm a children's author. I live in Salisbury. You are seeing this because I put up a short video yesterday on the Scar Gatherer Facebook page, which is the Facebook page for the book series I write, asking people if they would like to see, or rather sort of listen to, watch streamed video of me reading my books, the Scar Gatherer books, on Facebook. Now, this is something I've been thinking of doing for a while. Oh, the reason I'm doing it is that enough of you said yes, and some of you quite enthusiastically. So I kind of thought, I've been meaning to do this for ages, but I haven't got round to it. I haven't had time. Part of it is that I ought really to be writing my new book, which is a new series, hopefully, the beginning of a new series. I'm about halfway through. In fact, it's here. Let me just show it to you. There's quite a lot of it, if you look. I'm about 18 chapters in, and look, this bit here, you see? It says, oh yeah, of course it's in mirror writing, it says plan. So that's the other half of it. But the thing is that with the coronavirus, which I really don't want to talk about, but when I talk about it, I'm going to call it bat flu. Okay, with the coronavirus, with the bat flu, enough of us are stuck at home, and my children may well shortly be stuck at home too. And I thought you might be stuck at home, and some of you might actually just like something to do that is just a bit different. And story time is great. So that's the plan. But if you haven't come across this series before, it's called the Scar Gatherer series, and it's 7 time travel adventures that go through from Roman Britain all the way up to World War II, and they are factually accurate, so they're good for learning about history. But really, I did that because I want to know what it was like to live in the past. Whenever I was a kid, if I went to a ruin or a palace or something, I would shut my eyes and I would try to imagine rather, what it was like when people were carrying food in and out, and men were riding in on horseback and all that sort of thing. You know, just what was it really like? What was it really like? I really wanted to know. Anyway, so I'm going to read some of these books to you, but I'm going to tell you a little bit first just really quickly about them, just because if you don't know who I am, or what they are, then you might want to know what you're letting yourself in for or not. Okay, now there is one thing about doing this. The easiest way for me to do these videos is with my phone, but I need to use the phone facing towards me because then I can poke the buttons and that sort of thing. And the trouble is, that produces a mirror image of any text I show you. Okay, so I have a cunning plan. Just to show you the books, I have a mirror. So, the first book I'm going to... Oh, it's not very easy, is it? So, the first one I'm going to read you is The Leopard in the Golden Cage. Okay, so this is set in Roman Britain. I'm going to read these every weekday, possibly at the same time, one chapter at a time, which for this book, and most of these books, will take 16 reads, because they're mostly 16 chapters, so that's 3 weeks in a day. So I'm going to do this one first because I've been meaning to do it for ages. Okay, if we like that, and particularly if we're all stuck at home, when we get to the end of that, I will read this one. Okay, this is about the Vikings, set in Jorvik. Now, it's got the same hero, Joe Hopkins, who's a boy of... He's nearly 11 when the first book starts, and then he meets the same character, Lucy, he meets in Viking times. Now, some of you might know this. In the last 2 months, I've spoken to nearly 3,500 of you in schools, in Norfolk particularly, in Somerset, around Salisbury, over towards Bath, all over the place. So I've spoken to a lot of you lately, and I'm used to that, but I'm not used to talking to the eye of my camera phone. I find that very, very weird. And also seeing the numbers go down, up and down as I see how many people are watching. I find that quite odd, but I promise I'll get better. Practice makes perfect, huh? Okay, so we've got Romans, we've got Vikings. The third book in the series, Mirror, is, here it is, The Falconer's Quarry. Okay. That's set in Tudor times. Actually, that's set quite near here at Old Wardour, well, quite near me at Old Wardour Castle. Amazing place. So Tudors. I love Tudors. I also love this one. This is The Demon in the Embers. This is set in the time of the Great Fire of London. So yeah, maybe we'll get as far as that one. I don't know. The 5th book in the series is Slaves for the Isabella, about the slave trade. If there's one thing I really care about, it's the legacy of the slave trade in terms of what I've written. This really matters. I don't know whether we'll get here. The more of you that watch these videos and comment in a nice way, rather than say, oh, for God's sake, stop it, God, I've had enough. The more of you that watch these videos and the more of you that comment, then the more of this I'll do. Because I figure, well, we were all stuck at home with bat flu, or even without bat flu, but just stuck at home, the more I can do this, because I can do this while my children are at home. You know, half an hour a day is not going to kill anybody. Okay, Shimmer on the Glass is book 6. That's Victorians, although Victorian Cornwall, very, very different to what you'd think, because anything about Victorians you've read is almost certainly set in London, and that is different. Okay, and the last one, The Ring from the Ruins, that's set in World War II, and that's the end of the series. I don't know whether we'll get there. Who knows, we might. Okay, that's a very weird way to look at the covers, but it seems to be the only way to do it. If you want to have a proper look at the books, you know, see what they're really like, I do have a website. I've written it down. Please excuse my reception age handwriting. I had to write it in mirror writing, and I just realised what my year 1 child must have felt like until really very recently in terms of trying to write his letters, because writing in mirror writing is really quite hard. Anyway, so that's the website for the books. I think that's enough waffle, isn't it? I feel like I've blah 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 blahed on a lot, but anyway, very shortly I'm going to actually start reading The Leopard in the Golden Cage, and if you like this and you like this idea and you like these videos, please share them, especially with anybody with kids and kids that are stuck at home. They're mostly for 8 to 12-year-olds. 7 to 14 actually is okay. Probably a bit old for reception and Key Stage 1. But you know, if they're that bored, they might go for it. You never know. So yeah, this is for you and for me and for something to do. And yeah, hooray to, you know, staying indoors or something.